Welcome back. Welcome,
Yes,
fellas.
yes.
Welcome to this edition or this phase of All in All United where we're talking exclusively about Manchester United. I know over the past couple of weeks we have been doing some, World Cup content, but we back talking about Manchester United and Manchester United playing games earlier, you know. So finally, I guess I speak for a lot of people when I'm saying, the World Cup was enjoyable, thoroughly, arguably the best World Cup in a long time. But, I glad that we're back here doing match reviews and talking about Manchester United. Chef Nico, what are you saying?
What's up, brothers? Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
It is most certainly good to be back, and we will start by getting a GoFundMe to put on the lights by Nico.
I think he in Ika, is in Ika. He connecting from this evening, you know. So whenever he jump on, right? So Chef Nico and
Yeah,
those who
bro.
watching, right? In the past, right? Every time the team come back from an international break, watching them play was like a real chore.
Pain.
Yeah, pain. The lackluster, no plan, lethargic. So much so that I didn't even know what kind of performance to expect today. Especially considering, you know, that Burnley flying real high in the championship, on top of the
Oh,
league.
yes.
Yeah, and I don't think they have lost a game in their last five,
Burnley could wrap up promotion by
right?
January.
Look at that. And on top of that, they have two competitive games in their legs more than our group, right? This
Yeah.
is the first competitive game where everybody kind of back together. Burnley not playing the way Sean Dyche used to have them playing. This is the Vincent Company way, and
Yeah.
they gain results. So it was difficult to tell what to expect with this Burnley team, you know. So we here. I think we dealt with them. We managed the game. A couple nervy moments, and I think that was caused by our own undoing. The Bravka,
Agreed.
McTominay, Casimiro. But we saw it out and be in the quarterfinals. Where you say, Chef?
Yeah. Agreed. Um, it was a manageable performance. Listen, any problems we had in that game really and truly was not Burnley. It was on us. Like we just find things was too quiet, so we wanted to make things interesting, as only Manchester would do. But yeah, no complaints. Was a good win, man. Was a good win. We show our class.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Nico, where you make it today?
Yeah, good night. Well, Cast Studio Summit tonight. Right, Uletide season, somebody else getting invited to something.
Yeah, yeah.
But definitely still making time for All in All United, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, but again, definitely not missing the game, all up and down and whatever. When time for Manchester United games, we just make time and we just work around that schedule, right?
Definitely.
Um,
Correct.
yeah. So again today, you see the banner to the back rim. To me, that kind of spell out today. I think as much as Basaka, we know how unorthodox he looks. How we know how he lacks that coordination. That yesterday was quality. Um,
Man, the man.
uh Yeah, the assist
Now
was
go ahead, go ahead,
quality.
Nico. Go ahead.
Yeah, the assist was quality. And I guess Tenag had a lot to do with that, right? Because I guess Tenag would have been demanding a lot from him. And he delivered to some point today. We know that the moment Dalo come back, he back into the team. But at least at seeing that we don't have to play Malacia at the right back position. But even if
Yeah.
we play Malacia at the right back, we know we still have a little bit of cover with Basaka, and defensively he wasn't really troubled much. I think he got through that defensive work, that defensive side of the work. Casemiro again, Yeoman's duty today filling in centre back. Because when we saw that it's possible that Scotty could have been in the back, I had some question marks over that, but I guess I got it right. And I guess all around, I know we were getting to it. All around was a professional display, and as you have said, it has some nervy moments with the Bravka and Scott. Yeah, the Bravka and Scott mainly for me. The real suspect today. Outside of that, I think job done. On to the next round.
Yeah. You talk about Wan-Bissaka, and we miss Wan-Bissaka for the first half of the season. And sometimes when they hear them say injury, sometimes you just know if to believe them now.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And because credible sources, kind of reporting that, he on his way out and it have certain clubs looking at the possibilities, right? But question to the panel. Do you think Wan-Bissaka could work his way back into, Ten Hag's plans after you saw the performance today? Or was today's performance, something that would make his sale easier and we will get a fee?
Let me go. My first post after the game today, no lie. My first post today was standing ovation Wan-Bissaka. Real talk.
Right.
Telling you, we just go hard on men, but when men do, they do. You have to give men the justice too. And then Wan-Bissaka had a great game. And he had one or two little hiccups and thing, but as with most of us, we watching what he's offering in attack. And besides the beautiful assists, then one was going forward a lot. He was looking for, he really see the man look different, but he looked like a little mix of the old one, the little confident, but with Ten Hag chucking him, hey, go forward. So I was impressed with him. As for Reem question, listen, if the man at the club, if he could continue to improve, then it could never be a bad thing. And at the end of the season, we review it. I don't think it makes sense to look to sell him in January. We need that cover. But once he could keep on improving, it's good to have able bodies who performing in the squad still.
For me, right? For me, I still don't think he did enough to warrant even being the second choice, to be honest, because he still looks so clumsy going forward. And I don't want that from a team. To be honest, over Australia, right? I want to upgrade even on the second string right back. I'm just saying, right? Because when you're watching World Cup, right? So you're watching World Cup and you see some of the quality right backs in the World Cup, and you see some of the players who potentially, because you're watching players and you say, boy, I wonder who you're going to look at United. Right? And then even as much as one would have done okay for himself today, when you look at the quality it have out there and where we as a club want the club to be, I don't think he at that level. Because in my mind I was seeing this right back from Croatia, right? And when you look at this right back from Croatia and you look at one is chalk and cheese, and he played for Celtic. Celtic he playing for?
Celtic, yeah.
And he played for Celtic, right? So for me, I rather get a player like him, right, in the team, and let one go where he will get some minutes and even further develop. Because you watch it, the moment Dalo come back, you're gonna lose one again. One gonna get lost, right? As Chef said, maybe he could grow into it, but I think he lacking so much in terms of, especially that coordination part, that as much as he would have tried today, and you saw today where he looked clumsy trying simple things. I don't think that's the answer for us. I think we should look abroad soon. Even if it's not January, in the summer, we should try to upgrade that position and get Dalo some competition, because right now one is no competition for Dalo, and you don't want Dalo going in a comfort zone.
Yeah. Everson on the inside, he's saying good night, fellas. All the best for the festive season. Yes, same to
Yeah,
you,
man.
buddy. And we know, as we mentioned earlier, we go struggle a little bit for views because people probably painting, who probably
Yeah.
out shopping in the grocery. It is what it is, right? But I mean, we still, put it on play while you're doing what you have to do now, man. Yeah. So let me get the content out still, guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe on the YouTube side as well. Right. I had to agree and lean on Nico's side in the chef
Nah,
because
I can't vex with Nico at all. Nick has a proper opinion. I mean, to see the man has not done. You can't just say oh for one game, you know. But I just was glad to see the improvement. But rightfully so, we won the best. We won the best kind of players there. I don't see it happening in January. So as you know, as I said, let me see what goes on and by the end of the season. If he perform, well, all right. It give us something to think about, or it give us an asset to sell. Either way, I just want it to be a
Yeah,
win-win
yeah,
for the club.
yeah,
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 for sure, for sure.
and I think that had to be the kind of intelligence behind any kind of arrangement like this now. You want
Mhm.
Wan-Bissaka to perform because that will give you more bargaining power. We
Yeah,
already know that he is not part of the manager's plans. You know, I believe when you understand or when you see the way Ten Hag wants his team to play and how he wants his players to play, I just not seeing where Bissaka's skill set being suited, right? And the fact that he came in today and he, held his own, and we will applaud him as I say, chef, we will applaud him because when he play rubbish, we criticize him, and that should be across the board. You
yep.
understand? But when you consider where we want to go, I don't think Wan Bissaka is it. Right? If you could give me a good game until we decide to sell you and they could give you an extra 10, 15 million pounds on that transfer fee, then do your thing, man. I go big up all the performances until we sign that on that dotted line to see you go. Right? But I had to agree. I mean, the assist was excellent. He threw frame and he was able to play it in perfectly for Ericsson to tap in. But it's nothing strange to me because Wan-Bissaka has always given us at least one good assist a season, right? And no, all think about it every season. We know we're gonna
Yeah.
get one quality assist or one quality goal from Wan-Bissaka. Last
Yeah,
season, that goal he scored against Newcastle. I remember that rocket.
yeah.
Everybody
Yeah, of
ball,
course, of
everybody
course.
ball. You
Yeah.
understand? So I hope this is not the one because we need him for more games because I know we're gonna run Basaka. I mean with
With
Dalo.
Dalo.
Yeah. And then too, you could tell where Ten Hag intentions are because when he pull off Wan Bissaka, he push this guy, what's his name? Malasia on
Malasia.
the right. And then
Manasseh.
after that now, he brought on Brandon Williams. So I mean, as long as Wan Bissaka is here and he's getting the opportunities, I want him to take his chance. But going forward, I don't think this is what the team needs. I don't see Wan Bissaka pushing Dalo. I don't see Wan Bissaka giving that right back position no kind of competition. So let him play good enough to give him more money in the transfer fee and that more clubs might come in for him. And then we could get somebody who a lot
Yeah,
better. You know? So now the next thing, guys, we were all talking about players coming back from World Cup and the different things that they would have had to deal with in terms of the emotional aspect, the psychological aspect. I don't think fitness may have been a factor because them fellas and they was training, so it would the coming back to Man United. I don't think that fitness would be an issue, right? But we were all kind of in the dark as to what kind of team Ten Hag would have put out today, right? what were your thoughts on the team selection? Also, the performance levels of Bruno, Rashford, Casemiro, Malacia, the guys from World Cup who came back. What was your thoughts on team sheet and the performance levels of the guys who came back from World Cup? Because mind you, they only had 1 day of training with the team.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I had a question mark over what this team would I be like, because only time I look in, I searching for pictures for training sessions to see who back, to see who would have played, and it's only I think maybe yesterday. Only yesterday I would have seen some photos of the players on the World Cup coming back, and I was still in a quandary in terms of still who going and play now, because if you really check it what it feeling like if Brazil now lose the quarterfinal game now. And you're saying now, well, Casemiro walking into that team, or Anthony, or I was saying Fred, you wasn't seeing that they coming right back in the team now. Who else? Bruno, again, Maguire, sure.
Sure.
So yeah, so I was all over the
Raj.
place in terms of so I was all over the place in terms of how this team would have looked. Again, Ten would have spoken about it before. He said that they would have had meetings in terms of, all right, after the World Cup, this is what's going to happen. And I guess he would have laid out a plan, a detailed plan. Okay, if you drop out in the quarterfinal, I mean, I guess not trying to hex any team, but it would have been a possibility that teams would have dropped out at certain times, and they would have expected to be back at the club at certain time to be able to play in this game. Saying that performance levels, I think Casemiro played in the unfamiliar centre back position. I think he was good. I can say very good, because he hasn't been playing in that position. That is not his position. So I think he did very good. Malacia, I think he did well. Other than this, whoever Brenson fella, he had him working. I still think he did well. Bruno, on the other hand, was the only player that I find was a bit wasteful, because when you looked at how Portugal played in the World Cup, he wasn't that wasteful. He was actually one of the best players in the World Cup.
Correct.
Right? He made one of the best World Cup team 11. He made that 11, and you didn't see that. But what you saw from him again, which you cannot fault him for, is that work rate and that effort, that endeavor, that willingness to run, right, and fight for the team. You saw that, but just the end product today, he was a bit wasteful with, and I hope that going forward he improve on that. Rashford coming in again, I think Rashford had a point to prove. As much as he played on the right hand side, I think he tried to show Southgate that, hey, you bring on Sterling for me, a player who left the camp for however long. You bring him on before me in the game against France, right?
Rubbish.
As much as I exactly, right. I think he showed that even on the right that he could have done the business. And I think the goal from the right today would have proved that, I think Southgate got it wrong by playing Sterling before him. So I think all in all, I think it was a fair effort from the guys coming from the World Cup, because coming through that emotional trip, knowing the intensity of the World Cup every day, I think they came back and they did well.
Is
Yeah,
he's back there?
He's up there.
Oh.
Yeah, come back.
Yeah. I think they did well. Their performance levels, I think, coming back from the World Cup, they did well, and they did a good enough job that hopefully from now we can start to build on this performance today, because mentally, physically, playing today would not have been easy for most of those guys.
Yeah. Chef?
For me, I think, the physical aspect I was a little worried about. But before I get into that, Jen, I didn't know who was going to play today, though.
Yeah.
To me,
I agree.
I just like any true fan, I looking out, seeing, then I see, wait, these men back in training, boy. Well, all right, things looking up.
Yeah. Well,
Then I hear Maguire sick. I say, well, all right, that's not necessarily a bad thing. let me see. But then it hit me, boy, who we really have at cover at centre back. So for me, the defense was my main, my main focus, my mind was thinking who we gonna put in most of the centre back position. I know Lindelof would have played, but who was really gonna partner
Yeah.
Lindelof, right? You know. So when I saw the team sheet and stuff, I was like, wow, he's meant back, but then big up to Casimiro. That man is really class, boy. To
Yeah,
just
boy. He
slot
proper.
in, yeah, boy, to just slot into that position and do a real admirable job. And man, I tell you, this Burnley does beat people. If
Yeah, yeah,
anybody watch Burnley playing proper football,
Correct.
yeah.
right? So, yeah, I mean, I say, was good to see us. Then you play upon all that muscle, boy. I watching Marcel, like
Yeah.
all Marcel do is weight, so yeah, but then big up to Rash, really. Listen, he's showing. I doesn't want to get too carried away with him at times, But he really finally like it's starting to show the maturity in his game and thing. And a good example of that was today with his goal. Rashford take his time and make a proper play to gain position to put. Another Rashford might have forced a play, forced a crazy, a crazy pass when it wasn't there. But he take his goal because at the end of the day, he's a forward. You need to
Yeah.
score goals.
Yeah.
So that was a nice put away. Generally for me, Rashford probably was one of the best players on the field, if not the best. Rashford had an excellent game. Um,
I don't know if I agree with
Was
that. I don't know if I agree with that, Chef, but go ahead.
yeah, no, anyhow. So Bruno was Bruno, but yeah, he was a little wasteful, but though at the same time, Bruno gave some passes today that it's
The
not
one
much
for the
when
goal.
Manchester making them passes,
Yeah, the one for the goal.
God boy, that one for the goal. So but we do, as I say, we don't focus just on the good, we focus on the all round play.
Correct.
Then yeah, but I'll go on that keeper. Ian Murray. I'll talk about Ian Scott later. But yeah, that was my feelings
All right, let
generally
me
on
just
the
get
game.
some. Yeah, let me just get some comments on the inside here. So Phil in the comment section, you want to know how Garnacho play?
And that was decent.
Um, Garnacho
He
was
had some
It was
okay.
okay.
chances. He had some chances he could have done way better with
Way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday. Yeah.
Ganacho gets
The first two chances fell to Ganacho, but again, all I part of it, I wouldn't fault him too much.
yeah.
But that chances that a
so you
player
had a
at
power.
this level,
Yeah, you
at
had a power.
least he had to
He had
test
to
the
put
keeper
away.
in a proper way. Yeah.
Yeah. And we come to expect that from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. King on really on the inside right. So he's saying he was all right. He got two chances though.
Yeah.
Kadir, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correct, buddy. He's
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
this
yeah.
win.
Oh my brother, boy, good to see you. This is a big Manchester man too.
Nice man. Well, glad to have you on the inside, buddy. He
He can
said this
play
win.
cricket a little bit.
He said this win is good in my opinion as keeping a clean sheet with a makeshift defense. Reminds me of Sir Alex Ferguson days, making Phil Jones look like a class act. No, but I mean,
For real.
he talked facts there because we had a
No, he did.
makeshift defense in the back there.
Yeah.
See about Wan-Bissaka play. We talked about Wan-Bissaka earlier. We see Wan-Bissaka play for months. Then you put
Yeah.
Casemiro in the back there. Lindelof, the only recognized centre back at the club.
Yeah.
And them fellas
And
kept a clean
you
sheet.
can put the Bravka in that too. You can put the Bravka
Yeah,
in
they
that
put the
too.
Bravka in that as
Yeah,
well.
you
And
could
the
definitely
team
put the Bravka in there.
kept a clean sheet. And they make plenty mistakes too, but we still kept a clean sheet.
Damn, this is the Bravka. Nearly give me a heart attack a few times.
Boy, on a really pretty saying here, Rashford is back. I want
Yeah,
to ask you something about Rashford, but I'll comment to that. Javed on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining.
Jav.
He said he missed the game, watch highlights. 2 nice goals, but Burnley had chances that they should have taken, no doubt. Bruno makes some Pogba-like passes, Casemiro and Scott loose.
But fire for that
Loose
French
passes.
club now, boy. But Pogba
yeah.
like pass.
Pogba-esque, if it's a Pogba-esque pass, it's a Pogba-esque pass, chef. I mean,
So Pogba is the only one could pass over.
it's who we
But-
could relate it to. Because we see that kind of quality from Pogba at the
You
theatre.
could say, what you name?
Eriksen?
No, not Ericsson. Oh gosh, who used to play for Manchester? Who can't tackle for shit? One of the best midfielders ever.
Scholes? Paul Scholes?
Scholes.
Oh.
Say
Yeah, but more
Scholes
recent
pass.
now. Oh God, chef, more recent now.
Nah,
Pogba.
fire. I don't want to hear nothing about no Pogba.
Phil saying here, that pass from Bruno to Rashford. He then
Yeah,
later for Scott. Hey, that was a top.
that
Hey,
was a
no, that was
beautiful play.
that was from Bruno to Anthony.
To Bruno,
laid
to
to Scott.
Anthony, to Rash,
Yeah.
and he laid off for Scott. And Scott,
You mean this one? This was the one with Scott put over the bar.
yes,
Right.
and Scott
Okay,
put
yes,
it over the
yes.
bar.
God boy, McTominay, but he real, man play full
Sent it
90.
to Maracas, but he sent it to the Pacific Ocean.
Boy, yeah, Everson saying here, Scott needs to take a rest, boy, watch man.
Emerson, we now start to play. Emerson really thinking he want a rest, and we now come back. Scott will be playing that because until everybody back to full.
Nah, but I feel by next game, Scott will be watching football all year. Casemiro gonna
Yeah, I
come back in
think
the
so.
middle.
Nice.
Yeah,
Casemiro.
Casemiro gonna come back in the middle and
Yeah,
I
that was
just
too much.
glad Ericsson went to him early, so
yeah, he gets some rest, some well
gets some
deserved rest. Yeah. So Ten Hag could work that pacemaker a little more now.
yeah.
He ain't gonna get no rest. But my thoughts, guys, I was kinda nervy going into this game. And as I mentioned in the intro, Burnley real playing, right? And with the kind of performances we were seeing from, this team in the mid-season tour in Spain, it wasn't looking good, right? Donny, McTominay, them fellas and them wasn't looking promising. So to go into a game against Burnley with that 11, because when you look at the social media and most of them like news outlets, they were putting forward a team that would have just included Maguire to the normal squad that has been playing, because they say this is the team that training with Erik Ten Hag. He gonna need to phase in the World Cup players. So I was kind of concerned because I was telling, from what I saw, that group wasn't gonna handle. Elanga wasn't gonna do nothing, right?
No.
So I really
He's
wanted
not from the start.
so I really wanted Ten Hag to throw some of them World Cup fellas into the fray, because when you look at it, Rashford had played no certain minutes in World Cup. He had played the amount of minutes he deserved to play in that World Cup. So
Agreed.
apart from the psychological, disappointment, he needed to start. Right? The likes of Fred. I was thinking this is just how I was processing it. Right? The likes of Fred. Them fellas that play no kind of minutes. So come back and jump in this team and start.
Even Anthony.
Anthony as well. So
So they ready Casemiro real play.
yeah, so this was my hope, that these are the likes of these players would have been featuring from the start today. And I am very, very glad. I mean, I know we just always say it's noble for the manager to, give players a chance. But when you want to win titles, right, them risks had to be real minimal. Right?
True.
So,
True.
so this is why I was glad when I saw Rashford, Casemiro. I don't know if Harry Maguire wasn't ill, whether Casemiro may have still started, because I know, he make McTominay captain for the mid-season, so I don't know. Right? But I was glad to see Ten Hag showing intent, right? Because at the end of the day, we need to win a trophy, and we so far advanced in this tournament. It'll be foolish to throw, a weakened team when you have the top players at your disposal into a game like this, so advancing in the competition.
True.
So I was happy to see who I saw. Again, we spoke about Casemiro coming in and doing human service as a centre back. I felt as though we played, 3 defenders and an extra midfielder, because Casemiro just playing like that today.
Yeah.
Right?
Casemiro was still far up in the attack,
Yeah.
So I was glad, and I had known Ericsson was going to start because I mean,
Yeah,
Gave him his 10
Denmark,
minutes.
yeah, Denmark
Yeah.
leave get knocked out early. We have Luigi Bertrand. All right, thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying Scott made too much bad passes. Garnacho was running too fast. He needs to slow down with the ball. Yeah. He also saying here, get rid of that keeper. Ole Dubravka's supposed to be better than that, and I don't know what happened to Dubravka today, boy.
Yeah,
Just get better him, boy.
okay.
Hey, when that a big club, the microscope does be on here.
True,
I can just
true.
feel
It's
that
different.
pressure.
Yeah, different. It's real different.
Different.
Simeon saying hi late. I missed the game. I see the score, but what I really want to know is how Martial do to. Now,
I will let Reem go first.
all right, nice. Because I don't want to come across too, I'll go down feel all my comments on Martial will be biased now. But I thought Martial had a good game, right?
Good?
Yeah, I find he had a good game. In terms of hustling, because he real press, he was leading the
Real
press
press.
today.
Give him
You
that.
understand? Yeah, he led the press, which would force the keeper into making passes that he didn't intend to make. I also saw him, tracking back and winning back the ball a couple of times, putting some tackles.
Yeah.
Some nice passes that came from the back to the front, stuck to his foot, and he was able to bring players into play. I don't know, I go watch the man with a microscope, so I don't know. I'm telling you facts here, fellas. Right? It's had a chance to get boy. God, boy, I want him to score that bad. You know what I mean? The keeper pull off a real big save. I mean, apart from, that I thought he did well, under the radar. Sometimes, and I remember Ten Hag saying this, and he said it with relation to Rashford. Sometimes the kind of work that these strikers do, it goes unnoticed, right? But that is what that player needs to do, right? For the rest of the team to function properly. And that's what the man did. The man put in a shift today, and I was pleased with Martial's performance. He could have scored twice, but I mean, that just happened. Once he gained the chances. No one hear what all had to say.
Honestly, on all Jones aside, Marcel was decent today. I'm gonna say he some nice little link up plays. I would have liked him to be involved a little more directly in the attack, but he was decent. I really wouldn't come wrong Marcel today. He was decent.
Yeah, for me and team, this will be my last comment before I sign out, right? Yeah, for Martial, I think when you looked at Martial's performance today, it showed you what we were lacking when Ronaldo started.
Forward play.
And no, not only the center forward play, but the effort in that center forward position. I think he really gave an effort not only for himself but for the team. I think he gave a team effort today. Without getting his name on the score sheet, I think he would have done exactly what Ten Hag wanted from his striker, and I guess him coming off. I think at this score, would have told you that hey, Ten Hag ready to wrap up shop, and he ready to put Marcel on ice for the next game.
For weekend.
Yeah, because he was on the end of some rough tackles too.
Yeah.
And every time Martial go down here, so I have a question mark. Hey,
I close my eye,
Give us a limp off there.
When I think that the whole up, when I think that the whole them ankles,
yeah,
I just shake in my head.
Yeah. So I think he did his job. I think Ten Hag would have been comfortable with the job his performance today. And as a fan, I was pleased with the performance today. Again, it's just to move from strength to strength.
Now, Nico, before you bust out, right? I want to put this question to get your thoughts on, and then you could jump out, right? And then me and Chef could carry on, right? On the saying Martial will score Tuesday. Yeah, no doubt, I'm taking that one, buddy. All right.
Yeah, I think so too.
So we spoke, about Rashford. Chef say Rashford had a real good game, and I mean I'm not going to deny that. Right, but what did you all make of his performance today? Right, in a little more detail, because he came in for a lot of praise, today. And what I want to do, because I always used to say it in the past, take away goals and assists, right? And then we look at your performance. And that is how I would judge sometimes how well a player did. You take away the goals and assists. A guy could have a poor performance and still score, right? And then people forget how poor the person was. And that happened with Bruno countless times. So let me take out the goal. How was Marcus Rashford today?
All right. For Marcus Rashford, because of his pace, is always a threat, and I think that is what Ten Hag wanted from him today, playing against. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the player he was playing against. Right, to use his pace. It's not about maybe the position, because we know when Rashford on the right, he's poor in terms of when you compare his performances when he plays on the left. However, it had a few times today where if Lewis wasn't for offside, right? If he had timed his run better, I think he would have been more effective, and he would have had a better all round game. I think because that didn't come off, it would have looked like he wasn't effective. I think he was playing Ten Hag's plan, which is use your pace, get behind the defender, get him chasing you, create that space on the right, and then if it gets across the ball across the goal. It had one chance where he should have crossed the ball earlier. For some reason, the ball was on his right foot and he didn't take the chance to cross it. Yeah, he tried to dribble. To me, then he could have been more effective. But I thought he played out the coach's game plan in terms of stretching the defense, having that defender uneasy, but just wasn't effective with the, let me say, the end ball, other than the goal. But I think he played to the coach's plan today. Wasn't as effective as if he would have been on the left, but I think it was effective enough in terms of helping the team get the team forward. But if he timed those runs about 2 or 3 times, if he timed them properly, I think it would have made a bigger impact on the game. He'd have made a bigger impact on the game.
Right. So just to follow up on that before I come to Chef, right? Do you all think now that Marcus Rashford's versatility could be his own demise?
So
to me, no. That's not to me, no. Right? Because even Ten Hag know that Marcus Rashford is best off the left, and my feeling is that for the Premier League, Garnacho is not going to be starting. Anthony is going to be starting. Rashford is going back on the left with Anthony Martial on the top, where I guess all players most effective. And he would just maybe to accommodate Garnacho, but to me, if you say that taken away from him, maybe a bit, but I think Ten Hag knows his favorite position or his strongest position, and he will play him there as much as possible.
All right.
But and again, if the situation calls that he had to go centre forward at times, it's possible that would happen also.
Yep.
Right, guys. So good night.
Yeah, man, Nico.
And you'll see next week.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, man.
All right. So later.
Yeah, man, Nico. Thanks for joining, man.
Yeah,
Chef. So question to you.
Same question. So take away the goals and the assists. What does a player bring to a team? So let me be talking about this game today. A Marcus Rashford in form is an intelligent player. He demands cover. He demands a double team a lot of times. So that's one. So he is going to draw players out of position, and if men on our team using the brain, they will be running into position because he's a very capable passer too. And next thing I'm starting to notice, a lot of times we have accused them of being a one-trick pony. When you have a brain, he's not a stupid footballer. Use it.
Correct.
Starting to see his decision making certainly improving now. I mean, let's say Rashford is a senior player in the club now. So we come to demand certain things from you as a senior player. So all that being said, his all-round game, I see at times Rashford was even getting back on the wing and helping out in defense. So all them things is what I want to see. Listen, he's not Cristiano Ronaldo. He ain't going to stay, he's not a 30-something-year-old Ronaldo who going to stay up in front there and loaf. Get back and help the team. You're young. And he's doing that, so that's all you can ask from a player.
Fully agreed. And this is what I want to get at, guys, because far too often we just looking at goals and assists, and it had so much that Rashford was doing today before he scored the goal that people were not noticing, and all of a sudden he scored and whoa, you know. But before the game, the fella was working for the team.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, listen, at the end of the day, I just kind of want to make sure that people understand while goals win games,
not everything that's show up on his statue.
Yeah, exactly. And for the goals to come, other people have to do other jobs. You know?
Yep.
My concern with Rashford, though, is, as I had mentioned to Nico before he jumped out, was the fact that because he's so versatile, I'm wondering how it could affect his game. You know, because sometimes you want that kind of consistency, you know, but one game you're on the right and you might have a bad game and it can affect the confidence because you ain't going to score and you had to be doing different kind of work now. You had to be grafting on the right. You know, when on the left you could do more and play with a little more freedom because that's your stronger position now.
Understood.
So that's just that with Rashford and I mean, let me see how Ten Hag will continue to manage it, because I agree with Nico that Rashford did exactly what Ten Hag would have wanted him to do.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
It's good that he was rewarded with a goal and a quality goal at that. You know,
because he deserved that goal.
Yeah. Ever since saying here we're going with Golden Boy Sancho.
Sancho was the last thing we heard. It was is he still in Holland?
Yeah, he hasn't joined back up with the
to be honest, I honestly think that's a mental thing. I really don't want to comment too much on that because I honestly think that's not a physical thing going on with him right now. There's a reason to take him out of England and take him away from the limelight, away from the cameras and stuff. That's not no physical thing. I will stick to that.
Yeah. And you know, I have to, on this whole Sancho issue, right? I had a real credit, you know, Ten Hag and how he saw the situation and how he decided to treat with Sancho. Because I will tell you something. Rashford was in a similar situation last season.
Yep.
And what Solskjaer and Ragnick do was try to play him into form and play him through his situation. And for some players, probably not going to work, you know. Right? But if it doesn't work, what's it doing to the player? Is it doing more harm than good?
Yeah.
Because more pressure being mounted on the player to come out of it, and more fans turning on him. So they're getting more public scrutiny and criticism from fans. And these fellas...
Because at the end of the day, all fans see it is you on a feeling. Most fans not going to say... Fans a lot of times just do like these people not human, you know. And they expect that, hey, if you're not performing on the field, get off. What's going on with you? But men will be dealing with a lot.
Yeah. And this is why I am, you know, I really like how Ten Hag is telling, listen, let me take you out of the limelight. Let me take you out of here. You go Holland, move away from England. You know, you go there and you just focus on your game.
You notice they barely even telling you where in Holland he is? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, let him man hide away. Let he go through that kind of retreat and let him find himself, you know, work on whatever
and come back
he need to
stronger.
work on, come back stronger.
Yeah.
Right? Because chances are anybody else would have had Sancho playing, and people would have been criticizing and blazing him down. Right?
In the past, and as they rightfully said, they use Rashford we could use other players who have been going through things, and we saw signs. And the club, I find Manchester United has been very slow to manage players properly. All they're watching is the commercial aspect of the players. But managing these fellas and them off the field, the home life, things what going on with them, is sometimes a lot of times I personally find the club leaves these fellas to just swim.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Everson, I think Sancho will come back. I think he'll come back a better player,
Same.
right? But what I
We can
like
have
is
some
that,
patience with them.
yeah, what I like is that, he take him out of the limelight, he take him out of the spotlight, save the man from criticism, and he say, you go and work on yourself. I will send coaches, psychologists, wherever you need, and we will sort you out. And when you come back, you should be better. If when
Yep.
Sancho come back, we still see the same problem, well, then in that case, we have to
Yeah.
consider cutting ties because Sancho not ready for this level. Aaron Jones on the inside is saying United winning Soca Monarch.
Teach gonna mark some papers now.
If that's what it's called, the EFL couple, then yeah, right? He also saying Sancho is with an amateur
See?
club. Very nice, very nice. Yeah,
Good. So he completely away.
yeah. Everson saying yeah, Ten Hag is our boss. Yeah, well done, man. Watch me.
Yeah.
This show you the caliber of manager that we have at our club because, as I said before, Ollie and Ragnick and them fellas play, and you'll get better. Play into form.
Yeah.
It don't work for everybody. That method don't work for everybody. And it
That
didn't work for...
that is why the word is called manager and not coach.
Correct. Because that method did not work for Rashford last season neither, and Rashford came under a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
A lot. So, yeah. So, Chef, let me look to wrap it. I had this last talking point here for it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what are your expectations of United for the second half of the season? As it relates to Carabao Cup, FA Cup,
Then
Champions League, EPL.
I want us. Listen, we have had a bit of a up and down season, roller coaster season, but we seem to be coming into our own just before the World Cup. I want us kick on. I want us go as far as possible in every single cup, and just do good. Just listen. The man that was causing distraction not there again. Amen for that. Let me just focus on doing what men getting paid to do, and do it with pride too. That's all. So I would like us to go as far as possible in every cup. We only flirting with top four. We need to get in that top four and push through. We can't just let it be about City and Liverpool and what the name? That's us saying City and Liverpool. City and gosh, we like the two teams on top.
Arsenal and City.
Arsenal. Yeah. Let me do our part. Let me not be dropping silly points. We clearly could hold our own against the big teams. So let me do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Phil saying here, Sancho plus 100 million for Mbappe. Mbappe is a real. All I know, Mbappe turn up for training with PSG today. That man
I saw that.
is a real monster.
That is a beast. That is a beast.
Wow.
I was really impressed with him. He coming into his own as a big player.
He probably tell himself, I young, the career short, I go rest after. You know? Phil saying, yeah, we should at least get to 2 finals, Carabao Cup and Europa League. All right. I agree. I think, in terms of expectation for the rest of the season, because I don't think we're halfway through yet.
No.
Finish respectably in the league, which would be top 4, and at least a trophy, at least one trophy. And I'm gonna expand on what Phil say here. At least one trophy. So whether it's the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Europa League, one trophy and
I
a
want
final.
one.
And
Yeah.
a final
That's the
final appearance.
minimum requirement.
Yeah. So
I,
if we
I
win
want
the
a trophy. Well, a trophy would mean a finals and top four. Minimum requirement. Because we had to be going on an upward trajectory.
correct.
That being said, something I wanted to mention as Phil talk about Europa. Listen, I looking forward to that Barca game, you know. You see Conte? Then I
Who?
want, oh gosh, who the youth man, the French guy who played
Kunde.
yes. I looking forward to we wingers and he. Because that kind of defending I see him do in our finals. But he have plenty to get when he play with. I want we doing all kind of things. He had the other semi-man.
I forget we have Barca to play before we get into the proper knockout
we have
round in
Barca
the
now.
Europa League, you know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. But once we get through Barca, we'll be alright.
So if we had to get one trophy, guys, of the three cups that we still in, the FA Cup, the Carabao, and the Europa League, which trophy you take?
Europa. I want Europa.
Guys, in the comments, which trophy of the three tournaments are we still in, the three cups? We say we won one, at least two finals and one where we win the trophy. Right? We talk about expectations for the remainder of the season. Top four, we agree on top four. And we agree that we should at least be in two finals, of which we win in one. Right? I mean, I want to be in a final and not winner, but we're trying to manage the expectation, right? So we're in two finals and we guaranteed winning one. Which final are they going to take? The FA Cup, the Europa League, or the Carabao Cup? Alright? Phil saying here, Jules Koundé and saying he's a side
That's the man.
Sometimes when they play Man United, them fellas just step up, Alright? Doing on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining,
them Barca players say that remember he was out a lot for the first part of the season. So they're talking about how we will have Koundé back. I say, okay, pa. Okay.
And we won't have Martinez, but say what? Doing saying here, back to not doing chores Saturday morning.
Nah, not this Saturday. Don't let your wife put you out. This Saturday is Christmas Eve. Yeah, chores. From next week.
From next week. Well, Tuesday is the next game, right? Tuesday or Monday or something. Right.
Yep.
Hey, David Curtin on the inside, man. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Hey, David. Good night, brother.
Yeah, Phil saying here, whichever trophy gets us back into the Champions League. Well, the top four trophy go get we in there too, you know, Phil. Yeah. David Cousin saying here, I prefer the FA Cup. All right.
Yeah, you know. It's time we win some of the regional cups.
Some kind of silverware, man. Yeah, the domestic cup. Dwayne saying here, Europa priority, but FA Cup for the least.
Taking that.
All right. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, that brings us to the end of the program this evening.
Yep.
Right. We have Nottingham Forest coming to Old Trafford on the day after Boxing Day. I think that the 27th.
Yeah.
That is next week. That is next week Tuesday. Right. So, Varane will be back. Martinez will be back.
You feel so right?
Yeah. Both of them will be back right then. Ten Hag confirmed.
So you're even getting men on them more than a week.
Ten Hag confirmed that them fellas on them was off since Sunday. Yeah, them fellas was off since Sunday. Chef, how much time them fellas were?
Maybe best. I want my best players back. I want my World Cup winning defender and my favorite defender back. So me taking that. Varane had a good tournament, you know.
Yes, Varane was even though he was kind of responsible for that the goal Argentina score. Varane had a real good World Cup, boy.
Yeah, Varane had an excellent World Cup. Martinez, I think Martinez going to be the future starting centre back for that team. I can't see Otamendi and them around for much longer.
Now, ultimately, after this, I feel ultimately might play the next 2 years, and then that is that for
Yeah.
me.
So Martinez and all well rested. So yeah, come back. You celebrate, you jump up with them racist Argentinians, you can come back now.
No, I telling you, them fellas get enough. Them fellas get enough rest, right? If you
Yeah,
choose
time to
to,
come back now.
if you choose to jump up and hold trophy every day in your 7 days off, like your issue, come back Manchester,
Yep,
please, right?
thank you.
And if Mbappe, right, 2 days after losing the final, could show up in
Yep.
PSG and show intent, come on, man. Because Scott McTominay had said in an interview when he messaged Martinez to congratulate him, Martinez done telling the man about the next trophy he want to win with Manchester United. You know. So I
Nice.
know Martinez is a hungry player and he coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah, man. Switch
Yeah.
your focus on the switch one time. Mbappe is a good example. Mbappe, no. Let me be real. For we to already consider he a big player, PSG had to win the Champions League. It ain't good enough to be winning the Farmers League, or you had to go deep every season and not just or you had to win.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
they have is it Real Madrid them haven't
yeah,
in
they
the
are Real
Champions League.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I fully agree. Mbappe, no Champions League or boss, right?
yep.
Nobody is studying that league again. How much time will
Yeah,
they win that?
you ain't win World Cup. Well, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I think Martinez is one along with Casemiro, who is mentality monsters, and they will set an example for what we want to see in that dressing room. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that Mbappe come back, that's sending a message to the players as well. That's why when Martinez come back early, well, I want him to come back earlier than whatever amount of time he would have gotten off. Show me that, you know.
Yeah, show us the
So
hunger.
yeah, and let other players take note, right?
Yeah,
Doing saying here, so Rashford not making people easy now. Yeah, watch
like
me
a
after
like
that
a
goal.
proper baddest.
After that goal, Rashford just say, hey,
Yeah, Rashford said, "Boy, oh, you can't mark me, boy."
and he was on the favored side too, eh?
Yep.
The visual on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks
Good
for
night,
joining, man.
man.
Yeah, man. Better late than never. Right? Phil saying here, how Scott get Martinez's number. Martinez giving his number to No, he all good, all right? It's about Manchester United chat. You know, and you know in
They
the
had a
WhatsApp
chat.
chat
They had a chat.
you could probably go and pull out a man number and message him direct. That way you probably
Yeah.
do. You know Martin number. Right? Um Dwayne saying here Instagram. Tell we doing. What going on here with Instagram?
Now
Alright?
he must mean how we contact him.
Okay. Nah. I think it's through the
Yeah, but
team players chat group.
all of them playing for the same team. It's easy to get each other numbers, man.
Yeah. Rishi Shrippat on the inside. Thanks for joining. For joining, buddy. He's saying watching how Rashi
Oh, no,
playing.
that's any
That
pass. That's
idiot.
any pass.
No, Avex.
You vex.
Avex.
I'm the English supporter. So what you telling
Avex.
me? Who more vex than me? I don't
Right?
just forget that. I want him come with that same drive for Manchester.
And the sickening thing about this whole thing, right? They renew Southgate, so it's modest
Yeah,
nonsense.
yeah, yeah.
You
Nah,
know this is one of your players that could run against a defense,
England had
and they could bring you on
France
in the 85th minute.
England
Southgate
had
is serious,
France
man.
to hang, you know.
Yeah, Southgate is serious. He looked for the exit.
Whatever else.
I was hoping that after the seed I get neck boss, but
I too, but then what France doing with the champs?
not a decision I can make yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know Portugal manager out. You
Yeah,
know,
Portugal.
so we can see how
Spain
that
manager
goes.
out.
Spain manager out. A couple managers walking.
A couple of Brazil manager on.
Yeah.
Germany manager. Nah, I think
He's
they
still
say they're
there.
keeping him.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, they're keeping him.
He's still there. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah,
guys, it
man.
was nice. It was nice, chef. You know, and even
Yeah,
Nico
brother.
was on earlier. You know, we still want to bring the content. You know, even though we're in the festive season. You know, enjoy the festive season. Or be safe. right? Because the next time
Definitely.
we'll be seeing you all on All in All United will be after Christmas. So be safe, guys. You know, have a good, Merry Christmas. You know, and yeah, let me just get two comments here. Phil saying here, Portugal. Oh yeah, Belgium too. Martinez walk.
Yeah, Martinez, that
Yeah,
idiot.
Martinez walk. Yeah. Keeping the champs until 2020. You serious? This confirmed?
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted Zidane to take over, but
Yes, you know what? Correct. I read that. The said I read that. That is confirmed. The Senator they're keeping him. So that clearly way for Zidane to go to our club.
we,
I read that. I read that. Yes, yes, yes.
they were saying Everson. I thought Zidane was coming in to take the reins.
We
Judgment.
should correct with that. It's
All
true.
right, all right, all right, all right. Well, we will see how it goes.
Yep.
So yeah, guys. So from us here at All in All United, have a Merry Christmas, and you know, be safe.
Blessings, blessings, everybody, to you all and all
Yeah,
your family, and just be safe
and we will see you all on the 27th. You know, to review Nottingham Forest's visit to Old Trafford.
for the spanking.
Yeah, hopefully for the spanking. All right.
Blessings, fellas.
Yeah, man. So to each and everyone, have a good night and see you all on the next one.